Welcome to the Cybersecurity Sales Made Easy podcast, where you get real-world growth and mindset hacks, all designed to accelerate your journey to become a cybersecurity hero for your small business clients. And now, here's your host, Cybersecurity Sherpa, Jennifer Bleam.
Hey, thanks for joining me again. So this week I am talking to you about Cybersecurity Foundations, and this is really for those IT companies that are struggling to get started. You need to sell cybersecurity. You know that you are vulnerable, your small business clients are vulnerable, but where in the world do you get started? Or maybe you did try to get started and you got completely overwhelmed. And believe me, I understand. And I very well remember when I shifted from the IT world into the cybersecurity space, I stared at those screens and I would read a paragraph of a blog post and look up 5, 6, 7, 8 new terms that I had no idea what they meant. I would then go over, read all of these new terms, and then go back to the blog post to try to read that same paragraph over again with a little bit more understanding this time. And that cycle went on for months because there are so many new terms. So maybe you've gone through that same exercise and you got completely overwhelmed and gave up. Well, what I want to do today is give you a structure to try to help you give a bit of a framework to understanding all of these new terms, all these new vendors that are out there. I tell you what, they are multiplying like rabbits. I think every week there are 3 or 4 or 5 new vendors that I have no idea who they are and what offering they have. The other challenge is, and this is a broad brushstroke, every vendor doesn't fit into this category, but a lot of them sure do, is that they are used to selling to CISOs and CISSPs, and they forget that the average IT company is not, doesn't employ a CISSP, doesn't have that level of security understanding. And so they have not really shifted their sales process at all. So if there's any vendors out here that are watching this, that's a huge tip to you. If you can frame your solution around a problem that the MSP has, you will go a lot further instead of talking about technology and using terms like AI and machine learning and math learning. Let's translate that down to what normal technical folks understand. Now, back to you MSPs and IT service providers, it has been a long time since you have had to learn a lot of new terms because you know networking like the back of your hand and you know troubleshooting. You just do it naturally. It's even hard for you to articulate what you do because you are at the point of unconscious competence. You just do it. You can't explain it. You just do. And so now you're having to learn a whole new discipline, a whole new level of terms. So here's what I want you to do. As you are going through blog posts or watching webinars or maybe listening to pitches from various vendors, I want you to put those terms into 3 different categories. Now, one of the categories will be problems, those technology problems that you're trying to solve. Things like ransomware or happy clickers, those employees that just click everything, your client's employees, hopefully not your employees. And then the other category I want you to do is a solution. So we've got a problem, we've got a solution. And so the solution may be something like employee training, or maybe something like endpoint detection and response, EDR, MDR. There's all these crazy terms, right? So you're going to have problems and you're going to have solutions. Now, if you want bonus points, you can try to start matching these up. But for purposes right now, I simply want you to understand what is the term, what category does it go in. Having that framework will go a long way towards creating your security stack. Now, you'll probably want to have an other category, and that will be for things like vendors and maybe items that don't fall under problems or solutions. Maybe they're features, things like math learning, machine learning. And so those will be your 3 categories: problem, solution, and other. Now, I understand the next step here is to start matching up problems with solutions, just the category of the solution. Don't worry about the vendor yet. And I also want to mention that while creating your solution stack is very important, that is not the end of your job. You need to start to think like a security professional, which is going to mean baking security into your culture, having ongoing training, understanding this is not a once and done type of solution where you just deploy and you're good to go after that. This also means that you need to start to think about the policies that you need to put in place for your clients, but then also for your own company. We all know how crazy it is out there today for IT service providers. Unfortunately, we are in the supply chain and we are that proverbial low-hanging fruit for the cyber criminals. So make sure that you're not just taking these tools and these policies and this culture and this information and applying it to your clients. Make sure you apply it to your own MSP. So as you are reading over the next couple of days or a couple of months, start to put these terms into the framework. Is this a problem I'm trying to solve? Is this even a problem that my clients are going to have? And then what is a possible solution for that problem? Now, spoiler alert, there are some problems that right now today we don't have good solutions for. And so some of those problems are going to need to stay unchecked. There's just not a way to prevent it today. So that is why cybersecurity is always evolving. That is why I always encourage IT companies, do not use the term all you can eat or bulletproof security or one size fits all, because what you are deploying today, even if it is a best in class solution stack backed with some policies and some security education, that will not be what you want to deploy in 6 months. Things are just changing that rapidly. So hopefully this second tip will help you get off the starting blocks and into the cybersecurity world so that you can start creating that stack, because that's a really good first step. That's not the end all, but that's a great first step. So get that done, start to create that framework for yourself, and then meet me back here tomorrow. I'm going to give you a really quick little cheat code for becoming a security expert. I'm not going to say overnight because that would not be intellectually honest, but in a very, very short amount of time. Literally, I'm talking about a couple of weeks. I don't mean you're going to become an MSSP. I don't mean that you're going to be able to pass the CISSP in 2 weeks. What I'm saying is that you will be able to be that security expert for your client and have a much, much better understanding of what's going on in the landscape. So meet me back here tomorrow for that. But until then, I am Jennifer Bleam, Cybersecurity Sherpa, signing off.
To learn more about how you can become a cybersecurity hero for your clients, request your hero assessment today. MSPsalesrevolution.com/hero.